Oh boy, that was cold. Still, that's 32 kilometers in the bag. 32 very chilly and very hard kilometers in the bag. And it's the start of the fourth week of term. I hope you're all well. Actually, you know what? I'm freezing. I'm going to go and get myself a coffee, and I'll be back in just 1 second. So bear with me. I'll be back in a bit. Right, so anyway, that's better. Got my coffee now and can start thinking about what we're going to talk about this morning, because it's Tuesday, week 4 of term, and just really a couple of weeks left before we would have been going on half term. And it's the Tuesday after the Sunday before, when we all sat down and listened to our glorious leader express in very articulate terms pretty much the square root of nothing. I remember sitting listening to him thinking, my God, he does speak extremely well. But then when I went back and I tried to think about what he'd actually said, and you just give it a bit of a poke, the whole thing just kind of disintegrates. So we really are no wiser than we were before, other than it seems increasingly unlikely that you chaps will be coming back to whatever is left of the term, which means all sorts of things, but we'll worry about those, I think, later. The program continues. The Enabling Futures program continues, and thank you all very, very much for your support and your buy-in on that. It's there to keep you occupied as well as to prepare you for what comes next. And one of the interesting things that certainly I've learned from it is the value that it seems to be generating for you guys. And we now have to think about how we can roll that into the provision of education that we have for next term. Lots of really, really good stuff coming out of this that I think we can use again in the future. But that's for later. I do hope you found the student lectures, the lockdown lectures, useful, both the sort of general interest ones and the amazing careers ones that have been put together by Dr. West. So those are hopefully proving very, very useful. And I certainly hope that you enjoyed the recent one on student finance from Joe Baldwin. One detail that wasn't in there that has subsequently been brought to my attention, so thank you very much, Harry Meta's mum, is that if you want your cash in your bank account guaranteed before the start of term, then you need to apply as soon as possible. The deadline, I've seen it in a couple of different places, different dates, but it definitely seems to be that if you want your student finance in your bank account before the start of term, that you need to get that. You need to make sure your application is in before the 22nd of May. So that's the 22nd of May. Today is the 12th of May. So you have got basically 10 days to get that in. You can apply anytime over the next several months, but this is the last chance you will have to make sure that money is in your account before term starts, whenever term starts. So that's out there. In terms of other stuff, there are a couple of bits and pieces. Let me just get my papers together. So other things to think about this week. This is CV week. You should have already raised this topic with your tutors. If you haven't, do so already, please. This is with your tutors rather than with your SGTs. Your SGTs have got more than enough to be getting on with. This is for you to sit down and work out with your tutors. There's a fantastic bit on the VLE. I will link off to that in the video. But let's get you a CV. Why? Because this is the opportunity, and it may be that you won't use it for a long time, but generally I find that with things like this, it's better to be looking at than looking for. And if you have some sort of proto CV now, then that's something that you can build on and adapt as time goes on, because sure as night follows day, the one thing that will happen is that suddenly you'll need your CV, and if you're having to create it from the ground up, that's going to take you an awful lot longer than it will be to adapt something that you already have. So yes, get your CVs sorted out, and let's also make a note on that student finance, get those papers in line for the 22nd. It's deadlines, it's targets, it's all the stuff that we always talk about. It's good to have a target. I mean, I could have stayed in bed this morning and not gone out and done 32 very cold kilometers, but then I wouldn't have got 32 kilometers under my belt this morning, and I wouldn't have been able to strike that particular target off. So yeah, keep giving yourself targets, keep staying active, keep engaging with the SGTs. The feedback we're getting back on that is brilliant. Everyone's found their own level, and it really seems to be working. Targets are brilliant for getting you through the day. Not only have I been out on my bike, the other interesting target that we've got is that today is bottling day of lockdown ale. I don't know if you've heard it bubbling away there, but apparently that is approaching bottling stage. So that's very, very exciting. Possibly for me more than you, but anyway, there we go. I will be having next week an Ask Me Anything session on UCAS. I'm aiming for Wednesday. Depends what else is going on. I think I might be able to squeeze it in on Wednesday. So that's a week on Wednesday. Ask Me Anything on UCAS. I will try to answer any questions that come up, and that's both mums and dads and pupils. So do come at me with your questions. If you've got something you want to post ahead of schedule, then please do that, and then I'll get on to that as soon as possible. But that's about it. I got to go and make myself presentable for some lessons. Always nice to hear from you. Drop me a line. Yeah, that's another thing I was going to talk about. I've got my Floydie film group setting up. What the hell was that? I need another haircut. A Floydie film group, and that is going to be kicking off on Friday. So I've already watched Alien. I've told my tutor group to watch Alien, and if you want to come and talk about Alien with me and a few others, then you're more than welcome to do so. But there we go. That's it. It's enough from me. It's week 4 of the term. Everything seems to be going as well as can be expected under the circumstances. But do let me know any questions you've got, any queries, and any UCAS questions ahead of the Ask Me Anything next week. We'll see how that all goes. Quite enough from me. I'm going to bail out there. Have a great week. Speak to you all very, very soon. Take care now. Bye.